ranking every single Pixar movie from worst to best. And look, I'm not gonna hold you. Trying to rank Pixar movies is like trying to pick your favorite kid. Like, I think every single Pixar movie is good. There's genuinely not a bad movie. But one of them's gotta come in last and one of them's gotta come in first. If you ain't first, you're last. And it's a ranking video. You know that means there's gonna be some controversy. It's my ranking video, and I don't miss. In last place, I got Cars 2. And I'm gonna be honest, I'm not a big Cars fan in general, so everyone that's a Cars fan is probably gonna hate this list. Everything that made the first Cars special, they said, forget about that, let's make this even bigger and better and make it a James Bond spoof for some reason. Definitely my least favorite Pixar movie. In 25th place, I have Cars 3. I can hear the Cars fans going crazy. Thankfully, not as ridiculous as Cars 2. I think Mater definitely better as a side character. In this movie, they essentially made Lightning McQueen Rocky Balboa. All in all, it was meh. In 24th place, I got Lightyear. Definitely not a bad movie by any stretch. It was just a big letdown for me personally. I remember seeing that first trailer with Rocket Man playing in the background being like, damn, this could be the best Pixar movie I've seen. And sure, part of that is my expectations being a little too high for it. And the idea of actually going into the Toy Story world and telling the story about the toy that Andy had, I like that idea. But all in all, I just feel like they played it very safe when they really could have made something truly special. In 23rd place, I got The Good Dinosaur. Look, this one had a lot going against it at the time. A lot of issues behind the scenes. When it came out, I thoroughly liked this movie. I mean, that's not saying much because I like basically every dinosaur movie. I just really enjoyed the hero's journey in this one. In 22nd place, I got Monsters University, Pixar's first ever prequel. And I like this movie. I love seeing the origin of why Mike and Sully are such good friends, how that all came to be. But it was one of those things like, did we really need this? Either way, there's enough heart and humor for me to like it. I thought they'd known each other since the 3rd grade. You lied to me, you're a liar. In 21st place, I got Brave. Like with every Pixar movie, the heart is there, and the story for the most part is there. This was the first female-led Pixar movie, which is something they've been criticized up to this point, but it didn't quite stick the landing like I was hoping it would. Like everything in the second half of the movie could have been avoided if Bear had just said, hey, my mom's been turned into a bear, everybody chill out. Or her mom could have written something out in the dirt. And overall, this just felt like a pretty good DreamWorks movie. In 20th place, I got Onward. I really love this movie. A big daddy issues movie. A fantasy world where everyone's just boring suburban people. It's a beautiful adventure that ends up being the real destination was the journey we had along the way. But this one got me. I'm not gonna lie. I did tear up. And Tom Holland and Chris Pratt are great. In 19th place, I got Toy Story 4. Did we need a Toy Story 4? No. Am I glad we got one? Yeah. Like to me, this is easily the best franchise in Pixar. I just love Woody, Buzz, and everybody. And this just might be the funniest one too. Plush Rush, Duke Kaboom, and Forky? I can see a lot of people having this higher on the list, but there's some original ones I wanted to put above it. Like in 18th place, I got Cars. And from the jump, I told you, I'm not a big Cars person. There's probably gonna be the most dropped comment down below is Cars underrated, should be higher. And you know, I get it. If it hit you hard, I love that for you. Just wasn't for me. But I'm not gonna lie, the first one is great. I'm not gonna sit here and not give Cars its flowers. It's a classic redemption story from being way too cocky and arrogant. Owen Wilson is Lightning McQueen. Larry the Cable Guy is Mater. I see why it's so beloved. At number 17, I got Incredibles 2, the sequel 14 years in the making. Even though this picks up right after the events of the first movie, I'm gonna be honest, this movie had a lot going against it. It took 14 years to make. In a generation where we get superhero movies, like 7 of them every year. But it still managed to capture what made the first one so damn special and build upon that. This might be a shocker, but in 16th place, I got A Bug's Life. And I was really debating on if I want to put this in the top 10 because I love this movie. Ordered the poo-poo platter. James Woods as Hopper was great. We need to bring back the bloopers and the end credits like this movie had. In 15th place, I got Turning Red. I love this movie so damn much. It's a movie all about friendship, motherhood, Toronto, and boy bands. And it's also hella funny. Yeah, I get it. Her turning into a giant red panda is a metaphor for her having her. But I think it's more of a metaphor for how society looks at women when they get emotional, how that's frowned upon for some reason. But I really love how this has a commentary on our own parents and the emotion that they need to unpack too from their parents. It's a generational thing and this movie touches on it beautifully. In 14th place, we got Finding Dory. It was another sequel 13 years in the making and warranted. I love how deep the meaning of the title actually is. It's like, let's go find out more about Dory, everyone's favorite forgetful fish. And we get everything we get with the first one. Emotion, heart, and humor. In 13th place, I got Luca. What a beautifully original movie. Silencio Bruno! This was just such a fresh, interesting take that proves why Pixar are the studio that they are. I love the focus on friendship. The fact that you can't get wet and turn into a monster in front of a town that hates you. In 12th place, I got Up. And I know I can hear the audible because you think it should be higher. But breathe back in and really try to focus on what you remember from this movie. Is it the entire story? Or is it just the balloons? The first 10 minutes that emotionally destroy you. I love this movie. My name is Russell. Squirrel! Lots of great moments. But I could not justify putting it over these next 11 in my opinion. Like 11th place's Soul. This movie just fucking spoke to me on a spiritual level. I can't believe how deep this movie is. This made me cry like a little bit. Just the meaning and message of life in general is just so damn beautiful that I love it so much. Into our top 10, I got Ratatouille. This is as close as Pixar has gotten to an art film. Story about a rat who can cook. The main plot is about trying to impress a food critic. This movie won an Oscar, deservedly so. In 9th place, I got Inside Out. This has to be one of the most clever, emotional Pixar film in years that has a lot of teachable moments for parents and kids, like embracing each of your emotions when necessary. I'm gonna pour one out for Bing Bong. Yeah. In 8th place, I got Toy Story 3. When I tell you I was crying in that theater, when they're in that incinerator holding hands, accepting their fate, Pixar, what were y'all doing? Lotso's a great villain. And just the whole story about like what happens to these toys when their kids outgrow them. Beautiful. In 7th place, I got got Monsters Inc. Scary Pete, Scary Pete, Scary Pete, Scary 2319. We got a 2319. Just the whole concept of monsters having to go and scare kids as their job, and the relationship between Boo and Sully, Randall's bitch ass, Mike Wazowski. Banger. Shocker, but in 6th place I got WALL-E. I know, I'm surprised I didn't have this higher. So this is a Kubrick-esque movie, and easily one of the most original, ambitious Pixar movies ever. A dystopian set movie where humanity seems lost, but in the end comes back, and then WALL-E gets a little bit of personality and we just love him. But into our top 5 with number 5 I got Coco. Is it because I'm Mexican and biased? You bet your fucking ass it is. I love Coco. I should have put it top 2 to be honest with you. La Crucito! We just talked about the bangers, how it explored the lore of Dia de los Muertos, and how important it is to remember your ancestors. Otherwise, they'll be forgotten forever. All with the drama of a novela. If this movie doesn't want to make you pick up a guitar and sing along, I don't know what to tell you. This was tough, but in 4th place, I got Toy Story 2. I just love how they expanded on Buzz and Woody's relationship and where Woody truly came from. We get Jesse, Bullseye, Prospector's bitch ass. One of the best scenes in cinematic history when they restore Woody, sew him up, clean him up. Everything with Buzz seeing another Buzz. Zurg! And When She Loved Me being a precursor to Toy Story 3. God damn, this movie's so good. In 3rd place, I got The Incredibles. I can't believe Pixar beat Marvel to the punch in making a perfect Fantastic Four movie. That's what The Incredibles was. In 2nd place, I got Finding Nemo. What an absolute classic banger was on repeat in my childhood. He touched the butt. I just love this adventure. Our name is Bruce. Fish are friends, not birds. Just everything in this movie works. Heartwarming, sad as fuck, and funny. Everything you could ask for in a movie. But in 1st place, there's no debates. Toy Story, the original Toy Story, is the goated Pixar movie. Such a great original idea. Woody and Buzz fighting for Andy's love. Basically a metaphor for all of us trying to fight for recognition, for the fear of being replaced. Tim Allen and Tom Hanks, these are going to be the 2 roles they're remembered for the most if I had to bet. There's just nothing like Toy Story. But that's just how I would rank them. Let me know how you rank them down in the comments below. And as always, like and follow for more.